Here's a look this morning at the security line at another airport, O'Hare in Chicago, where passengers are seeing delays on this start of the holiday weekend. Air travel is expected to hit an all-time high this year, with the TSA preparing to screen some 740 million people. That's nearly 100 million more than in 2013. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is here. Peter, good morning.
Good morning.
When is this going to get better? When are these TSA improvements going to kick in?
I wouldn't hold my breath, because even if they hire more people, they've got to train them. That's a 6 to 8 to 10 week period. So we're talking Labor Day. So the summer is already spoken for.
And what about these efforts by American, Delta, United to spend up to $4 million on additional workers? Will that help at all?
It's triage for the airlines, because they need to get their people in the line. They can't speed the line up anymore. They're not inspecting you. What they're trying to do is to figure out how many of their passengers are late for any particular flight, so they will figure out which planes they're going to release and which planes they're going to hold based on how they connect.
Well, the numbers are staggering. There's a big difference, as we just saw, between the Chicago airport and what was happening in Atlanta. And the numbers are 70,000 people missed flights for American Airlines waiting in line. So what do you think needs to happen, Peter?
Well, first of all, people are applying at record numbers to become members of the TSA PreCheck program, something like 15,000 per day.
Does it work, Peter?
No, it doesn't. And I was actually flying out of JFK earlier this week at a peak time. I have PreCheck. I've had it since the day it started. I took a photograph of me in line. Look at the TSA PreCheck. Empty, completely closed. So there it is. So the bottom line is, if you're joining that program, in theory it's supposed to work, but you have to have the people to man it, and you have to open the lines.
You know, Gail asked an interesting question yesterday to the JetBlue CEO who was here, was about waiving the checked baggage fees. There was an interesting piece by Gail Collins in the New York Times about how much the airlines are making on those baggage fees. $3.8 billion. They're also making money when people are rescheduling their flights. Is there a scam here?
Yeah, well, it's the tipping point. A recent survey by USTA just came out with the fact that they're going to estimate $4.3 billion hit to the U.S. economy based on security wait times. So at the point where that begins to exceed in a very large way the amount of money the airlines are making, maybe that's when they'll start not checking.
But the airlines are making record profits.
They are.
And you've changed the time on when people can fly. You used to say the first flight out, and now you say...
Go at 11 o'clock in the morning, because there's nobody there.
All right.
Interesting.
Good advice. Peter Greenberg, thanks so much.